Hi everybody, it's Rob Williams from the Outer Rim Rookie and Generation X Wing podcast. Today I got a request to do how to maintain your armor, so that's what I'm going to show you. What I do to maintain my armor. This is all Biker Scout stuff too, so there are some similarities of of Biker Scouts and TKs or Stormtroopers, but mine's got a lot more fabric than a typical TK armor does. But either way, the rules kind of apply to a lot of things. So let's go through some of the things that I usually do after a troop. One of the first things that I do when finishing any troop, I basically wash the gear. This is one of the flight suits that you have for the Biker Scouts and from Wampa Wear. And since I've had to sew a lot of these patches on, and thigh patch and bands and stuff, it's very sensitive to me, so I put it on a delicate wash. I'm here in my laundry room / closet, and so I put it on a nice delicate cycle just because I just want to get all the gunk out of there. Don't let it sit around because I played hockey for a while and I got a bag in my closet right now. It's been sitting there festering for a while, and all that stuff, it's not what you need. You can't have that. It's so gross. Even the cummerbund, which I have here as well, I wash that in a very delicate cycle. This one's a little bit trickier because I've got a plastic cod piece in there, so and I can't take it out. I guess you could. One thing I could do is constantly unsew and sew, but I just find that would be so difficult. So I just give it a nice light little rinse in a delicate cycle. Some of the trickier parts I notice when doing this is the Velcro can get stuck around different parts, so it is a bit tricky at times, and I so far it's worked out. I may be breaking some rules here, maybe doing some damage to it I'm not unaware of, but it's nice and clean still. It's nice and off-white as it should be, not the off-white it shouldn't be. And I also keep it with the Velcro on as well. This is the Velcro back, so all the straps and everything. So I do a delicate cycle, and then I don't even bother putting it into that dryer. I hang dry the sucker. Just hang it up and let it dry, air dry, and it's good. It's a safe bet. You have to do that. One of the other things that I also do is when I take out all my gear, like my boots, my armor, that's loud, all the other stuff, and I lay it out. I'm fortunate to have a closet space area on the floor, just ignore the mess, on the floor, and just lay it all out and air dry it. Some people, you Canadians will probably understand, use hockey gear racks. So they just have things where you can slide a glove in, slide your armor on, and stuff like that. It's a great idea because some of the tougher parts, like your gloves, you just can't just stuff it in your box. It'll just sit there. It's like a greenhouse all of a sudden. So you just gotta let this air out. And those hockey gear racks can just open it wide open and let the air breathe. It's all about getting that fresh air in there. Another trick that a friend of mine taught me, Deo Williams, who is a prop builder for movies and TV, he showed me that some Lysol wipes help out as well, because as you sweat, it does get on the plastic armor. And so giving a little wipe with one of these things and just give it a little rub down really helps a lot too. I've heard other techniques used. Some people have mentioned vodka, some sort of alcohol solution. If you got some other ideas or suggestions, let me know. I find that the wipes work really well, and you got to do it right soon after. I know that Deo himself actually brings it along with him, puts it in his box, and just gives a couple little rundowns right after. Time is the enemy, I guess, and you don't want this thing sitting around and just getting funky. Some of the other things that I like to do, I just do it without thinking now, is checking my armor for cracks and dents. I find the two items that get beat up the most is my thermal detonator, because of just banging into things. This thing falls off quite a bit. It's got some metal hooks in the back and just kind of slides off my belt, which may explain why. The other thing that gets damaged a lot is my belt itself, whether it's the buckles or anything. There's for those TV guys, you may notice that there's only one rivet on this belt, and it's kind of loose, and I'm always checking that thing to make sure it doesn't rip, make sure it doesn't tear, because it's the belts for me, it's been the trickiest thing. And fortunately I've lost a lot of weight over time, but with that, it becomes a little bit looser, so I've had to add Velcro inside the belt to Velcro onto my cummerbund. So I got spots on my cummerbund, which I Velcro to the belt, and it stays on. But over time, I'm gonna have to build a new belt, and just to make it nice and cinch and svelte. So, but it does get banged around a lot because you're always constantly walking, and you can hear it. It just keeps flapping on your thighs and everything. So something that I always keep an eye out as well, just going over for dents and cracks. Unfortunately, so far, no problem. Other things that I also do is check the Velcro and the straps on my armor. So this is my knee pad, for example, that's up, unless you're watching The Mandalorian, that's up. But these straps are constantly in use and being stretched, and sometimes they can get a little thready. So check for your straps and threads, make sure the rivets are all fastened nice and well, and everything's looking pretty good. I would also like to strongly suggest put this in your case as well. It'll help you put it before, put it after. Everybody's happy. One item that gets the most beating is your boots. I don't know about you guys for TBs, since these are such high boots. I'm constantly having to take it on and off with the strap here, with the Velcro. And as that happens, it starts to slip down a bit. The bar doesn't last for life. And so as you can see here, it starts to slip and come down, like especially on the back there. And yeah, you know, it's supposed to look weathered, but it's also supposed to look somewhat nice too. And you can see it's just kind of slipped down past the sole point. And as I was checking this out, I noticed, this is not good. I've got a hole. That's not good at all. I might need to make new boots after this. I don't know if I can patch up something like that. This requires possibly just new boots altogether. Inside as well, just double check that the straps are happening. We've got this little plastic piece just so it can hold up on your calf, and check the holster as well. I don't typically have anything in here. I don't typically carry a blaster with me, and this of all things gets hammered constantly because it sticks out just that much more as you're walking. And so every time you're walking in an area that's kind of close, bang, 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 it's always getting hit. So keep checking those boots and make sure they're holding up, because you don't want these things to look really scrubbed. Weathered is one thing, just poor and unkept is another. One last thing that I also check is, of course, the bucket. You got to make sure there's no cracks. I do have a couple cracks on here, but it's so minute that right now it's not been a problem. But I also like to check out the inside to make sure everything's in place. And I already noticed that I'm missing some pads. Some pads kind of slip out there, as you can kind of see. It's all come out. So I gotta fix that and make sure that it's all nice and comfy inside. Some people have fans in their bucket. Gotta keep checking to see if the fans are working, make sure the electronics are working, give it a little 1-2 the night before. I always like to make sure the night before everything's working, everything's in place, and get it all ready and at the front door ready to go. Just like I remind my students with their homework, you know, just make sure you get everything done the night before so you're not rushing when you wake up late or something like that. So. Alright, so I'm now going to put all my stuff together in my box. I'm making a video with my friend James Warren to help support the stair climb that I'm doing, and so I got to get in gear. So let's put it all into the box, and I'm going to time lapse it. If you want to learn more about how to put everything together, check a video almost like 6-7 months, almost a year ago, where Terry taught me how to store this properly. It's a really great video and very helpful, but I'm just going to time lapse this sucker. Ready? Here we go. And there you go. So there you go, all prepped up, ready to go see James and get that video for the stair climb. Hope that helps. any questions, let me know. It looks like I got a lot of work to do on fixing some things here and getting ready for that Fan Expo. All right. So other than that, thanks for tuning in. If you have any more suggestions or any questions about 501st, Outer Rim Garrison, or anything else like that, leave me an email at generationxwingpodcast@gmail.com, on the Facebook site down below. I'll try my best to get back to you. And there you go. We'll see you on the next vlog. Remember, armor is built on hope. Bye.